Okay, so I've reached kind of a breaking point. I had sort of the perfect studio, but right now I'm left with a little bit of a very, very, very messy studio that I can't even really travel around in. And so I need to fix that. What I have usually is I just kind of clear a little bit of a space, and that's really all anybody sees. A pair of gloves, paints, various brushes and pencils and wrenches, gin, which is actually for painting, I swear. You know, just like the basics. And way too many water jars. So step one is to start with an imperfect studio, which is great because I've got one. I mean, chances are you do too. And studios come in all different sizes and shapes. I mean, they can be connected to your house. It could literally just be a desk. Honestly, sometimes the best studios fit into a bag. It's just everything you need right there. But optimization is key. So step two is to make a plan. So in my opinion, all studios need two things. They need a place to paint and then a cozy nook to kind of think and recharge. And once you have those two, it creates this amazing cycle where you think of an idea and then you go make it. And then once you make your idea, then you go to think of a new one. And then it just kind of keeps on the cycling, and that wheel of motivation just kind of moves you forward. Although if you want to add something, snacks are key and they belong here. That's kind of a crucial part of this as well. Okay, so now that we've got a plan, it's time to pet the cat. And then it's time for step three, which is to remove the trash. Don't worry, you're safe. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention, okay, the next step is to put an absolutely gigantic impromptu couch in the corner of your space and kind of totally throw everything in the other corner to kind of make room for it and just fully erase any progress that you had made. If you do have a toddler, they help phenomenally with the chaos element of it. But yeah, I kind of feel like I took like one step forward and 4 steps back. Cookies. You want all of them? Okay, let's really get these crushed into the couch then. It's gotta start sometime. But I feel like it's not like that far off for the course for me. I've always been the kind of person who like can't quite keep a straight line. But it's just sometimes a little bit frustrating because it feels like I can never quite keep things organized, or I can never quite keep things in the place they're supposed to be, and it feels like that's what's required in today's modern age. You've got to be the kind of person who sees what your goal is, and then you just put the steps together, and then you get there, and that's like the only way to get anywhere in life. And I just don't have that. I'm like a spiral in a world of straight lines. Maybe I'll have one more. So in like the traditional sense, it feels like you're always just supposed to, you know, start here, and then you end here. And then it's just one straight line. It's a lot of hard work, but you just take all the steps and you put in the hours, and like that's life. And for me, I feel like I'm much more of a, you know, start here and then just sort of circle around and do all of that. And the difference is, instead of a one-dimensional journey, I do feel like there's all of these other angles that are going there. And then maybe what that ends up becoming is, instead of just these one straight lines, it's actually more of a whole number of straight lines. And then what that creates is spokes of a bicycle. I'm only ever touching the ground on one spoke at a time, but that's okay. So do bicycle wheels. And if you have enough of those, then eventually you're actually able to move forward. But it's really hard to see when you just are that one line. You know, that's not going to go anywhere. But as soon as you have enough of those and it just takes some patience, then finally you do start to get some forward momentum. Yeah, you got a piece. You found the chocolate. You really did. Oh, dude, you are a mess. Here, hold on. Stay right there. Don't move at all. You are covered in chocolate. Okay, I might have been asking for that one. That's what happens when you put a white chair in a studio with a toddler. But maybe I'm saying this more for myself than anybody, But I think it's okay to be messy, and it's okay not to go in one direction, and it's okay to take little side quests, and it's okay to not have that perfect trajectory that's organized and stepped out and takes you from point A to point B. It's okay to wait and kind of see what that shape is and see where you end up, because honestly, that's going to be a much more interesting story than any of the rest. And when it comes to the studio, maybe it's okay that it's not perfect. I mean, I still need to clean it up a ton because like I can't even move around in most of this place. Well, you can, but you're like, 2 feet tall. Oh, are you Sharpieing on the ground? How did you find all of this stuff? Hey, thank you. Okay, so that leads me to step 4.5. Clean things up as good as you can. This might not seem like much, but like for me, this is cleaner than the studio's ever been, ever. And once you have things relatively where you want them, the next step is to label everything. Holy cow, I just realized I forgot like one of the most important parts of any studio. Arguably like one of the most important art supplies on earth. Tea and snacks. When it comes to snacks, you need something that is good but not too good. Like if it's too tasty, you'll just eat right through it. So you need something semi-healthy that you can mindlessly eat. Trail mix is good. It also can't stain your paintings, so that's a no-go. But perhaps one of the most important things is tea. Tea is great because it keeps you hydrated, but it also makes this fun game that you can play called Am I Drinking Paint Water or Tea? Now, I'm not actually joking about how important tea and snacks are to art. I used to think art was all about the materials. Like if I just had the right paint, or if I had, the right brush or the perfect location, then that's all that mattered. But the more that I paint and learn and travel and see and sketch, the more I'm realizing it's about everything. It's about the materials, but you could have the perfect setup. And if you arrive hangry, or if you arrive dehydrated, or if you're outside and it's too cold and you didn't bring the right layers, or maybe you're not inspired, a snack, a drink, a conversation, all of that can be just as important to art as the paper itself, or the brush, or the paint. And so the semi-final step is to fill the space with artwork that inspires you. And that's where you come in. I feel like a lot of times with our own artwork, we often give the good stuff away, or we sell it, or it goes somewhere else that's out of the space where we create stuff. So you gotta make sure that there's the things that inspire you to wanna make more on the walls. But what I really love is your artwork. I mean, to be honest, like this community really has kind of helped me get going in a way I never thought would have been possible. And I'd really love to see a little bit of that every day. So if you have a chance, and if you feel inspired, and you wanted to send me like a sketch or anything like that on a trail tile, we'll keep it small so we can put a bunch out there. I would love to fill these walls with all kinds of sketches. I'll put a shipping address in the link below, or if you have a question or something like that, write it on the back, and it would be really fun to be able to answer those all together.